Okay, good morning students. In previous class we discussed about an organism's habitat is characterized by both biotic and abiotic factors. So abiotic factors examples are of temperature, water, soil, light. In that abiotic factors again two types of categories are the physical and chemical. Here the first of all temperature is over. After that temperature the next priority goes to water. Means among four different types of abiotic factors, the first and important factor is the temperature, and after that temperature the second most important factor is water. So water playing an important role. Of course we know the life is originated inside of the water environment only. So but the priority goes to temperature first. After this temperature the next priority goes to water only. Here already we know which type of organisms they are facing problems with water. Maximum organisms they are distributed in deserts, in oceans, on land, in ponds, etc. etc. So which type of organisms are most affected with water? Of course our answer is desert animals. Maximum desert animals they are facing problems with water. Not only animals but also plants. So both plants and animals they are facing problems with water, especially in desert habitats. But here those organisms are surviving in ponds, lakes, in oceans. Here abundant water is there. Those organisms are surviving instead of the water. Such type of organisms also they are facing problems with water. Which type of problems they are facing with water? Here such type of organisms we are calling as aquatic organisms. Even aquatic organisms are also they are facing problems with water because of their chemical compositions. Because of their chemical compositions. Along with that chemicals, pH and salinity. These three factors, because of these three factors, the organisms are facing problems instead of the water. Even plants are also depending on water for their productivity and for their distribution. Productivity and distribution purpose also water is required. Already we know types of pollinations. If the pollen grains are transferred from one place to other place with the help of water, it is called as hydrophily. So compared to different types of pollinations, water is playing an important role for the distribution of plants. Here this water is also an important for this plant productivity. Like that, here the organisms they are facing problems, those are surviving inside of the water. Now that problems because of chemical compositions of the water, along with that pH of the water and the salinity of the water. Here salinity is nothing but the concentration of salts. Concentration of salt. So salt concentration is simply called as salinity. So here different types of values given about salinity. The salinity of land water, those water present on land. Example for these lakes, ponds, etc. etc. In this water the salinity is less than 5. So less than 5 salinity is present in inland water bodies. Whereas in case of oceans, already we know compared to fresh water, now these water bodies are simply called as freshwater bodies. Compared to these freshwater bodies in oceanic water, these oceanic water bodies are termed as marine waters. This is fresh water. The water bodies which are present on land is known as freshwater bodies. In that freshwater bodies, so the salinity is always less than 5. Whereas the salinity in case of oceans, that ocean water bodies we are termed as marine water bodies. In that marine water bodies, the salt concentration is about 30 to 35. Now these salt concentrations they are measured in a ppt, means parts per thousand. So the salinity of oceanic water is 30 to 35, whereas some water bodies are present on land. Such water bodies are termed as hypersaline lagoons. Hypersaline lagoons. Name only telling hyper, more, saline, maximum salinity. So such type of maximum salinity containing water bodies are simply called as lagoons. In that lagoons, the salt concentration is more than 100. These are all different types of varies in different types of water bodies. If it is fresh water, less than 5 salt concentration, that is much salinity. If it is marine water, 30 to 35 salinity, whereas in case of hypersaline lagoons, more than 100. So, based on this, organisms, they are facing problems about these chemical compositions. What are the problems? Let me see later. Here, again two statements given. One is urihalline, one is a stenohalline. Just like eurythermal, stenothermal. Already we know the definition of eurythermals. Very small amount of organisms, a few organisms which can tolerate and thrive wide ranges of temperature, those organisms are called as eurythermals. And the maximum organisms, those are restricted to narrow range of temperature, are called as stenothermals. Means if the organisms have the ability to survive in any type of temperature, if temperature is going to fluctuate, even though they are surviving, those organisms are called as eurythermals. If the organisms are not able to tolerate, those are called as stenothermals. Examples for eurythermals, birds and mermaids, warm-blooded animals. In case of stenothermal animals, the remaining organisms. This is about temperature. Here, this is about salinity. So here, urihalline and stenohalline organisms are there. Same definition, but this is about salinity. Very few organisms which can tolerate and thrive wide ranges of salinity. If salinity concentration, salt concentration is going to change, even though the organisms are surviving, that organisms are called as urihalines. Majority of the organisms are restricted to narrow range of salinity or are called as stenohalines. Here, urihaline organisms and stenohaline organisms, based on their tolerate power on this salt concentration, they classify organisms into two categories: urihaline and stenohaline. So once again, urihaline organisms means the organisms which can tolerate and thrive wide ranges of salinity are called urihalines, and those are restricted to narrow range of salinity are called as stenohalines. Example here, urihaline organisms, best example is prawn. If any sudden fluctuations occurs in salinity, even though the prawns are surviving. Here, stenohaline examples, freshwater organisms, they can't survive in marine water. If any freshwater fish that enters into the marine water, such type of freshwater fishes, they can't survive in that marine water, because in that freshwater bodies, the salt concentration is less than 5, whereas in marine water bodies, the salt concentration is 30 to 35. Wide ranges are there. In these wide ranges, immediately the fishes are going to die. So that's why the freshwater fishes are of best examples for stenohaline. Here, some variations given, some differences in between freshwater and marine water organisms. See here, the freshwater fishes, their surrounding water bodies, their salt concentration is less than 5 compared to their body fluids. Body fluids, nothing but blood, lymph, whatever it may be in the form of liquid. Now that salt body fluids concentration is more compared to their surrounding water concentration. Here, outer water, their concentration is less compared to their body fluids. Because of that reason, the water is enters into the body through this skin. Through skin, the water is directly enters into the body. Now this process is called as endoosmosis. Endoosmosis. Already we know osmosis definition. The movement of fluids from lower concentration to the higher concentration. Now here the fluids are going inside of the body through body wall from outside to inside. Now this process is called as endoosmosis. So without drinking of water, the total body fluids volume is going to increase because of this endosmosis. So finally here, to eliminate excess water, these fishes, they are developing very well developed kidneys. Now these very well developed kidneys are termed as glomerular kidneys. Glomerular kidneys. Why? Because in these kidneys, glomerulus is well developed. That well developed glomerulus eliminates excess water. The water which enters into the body by the endoosmosis, such type of excess water is going eliminated with the help of these glomerular kidneys. Along with this water, some salts are also lost. So salts plus excess water. Both these two substances, they are eliminated. Such that elimination is going on by glomerular kidneys. So here maximum amounts of salts are going to last. If excess salts are going to last, that is also one of the major problems. To compensate this loss of salts, here the fishes, they are developing some chloride cells. That chloride cells are together called as chloride glands. The chloride glands are present on gills. Now here, these chloride glands' main function is to absorb salts from the surrounding water. Like this, the lost salts are again enters into the body through these chloride cells. So once again, freshwater fishes, they are facing problem with water. What is that problem? Because of here, the water salt concentration is less than 5 compared to their body fluids. Here body fluids concentration is more. Here water concentration is less. Because of this, excess water is entering into the body by the process called endosmosis. That excess water is going to eliminated by kidneys. Now that kidneys are called as glomerular kidneys. Along with that excess water, they also eliminates the salts. So these salts again enters into the body with the help of chloride cells, chloride glands which are present on gills. Here the freshwater fishes, their gills, special character, they possess chloride cells, they absorb salts from the surrounding water. By this process, they are surviving here instead of the fresh water. Then compared to marine water, quite opposite characters. Here marine water salt concentration is more, 30 to 35 ppt compared to body fluids. Here body fluids concentration is less compared to surrounding water. Here what happened? The water from the body is going eliminated by the process called exosmosis, lower concentration to higher concentration. Here water from the body is going eliminated. Now this process is called as exoosmosis. Because of this exoosmosis, the water quantity of the body is going to eliminate. Because of this, what happened? The fishes which are surviving inside of the water, they are facing one of the problem called dehydration. What do you mean by dehydration? The loss of excess body fluids. So how they are going to last? They are surviving inside of the water, but because of this exosmosis process, the water is going to eliminated. So by the elimination of this excess water from the body, now the process is called as exoosmosis. To compensate this problem, the marine fishes, they drinks more salt water. Continuously they have to drink such type of marine water. So by the drinking of excess water, the maximum amounts of salts, they are entering into the body. Understood? So here what happened? Body fluids concentration is less compared to marine water. Because of this, the body is going to dehydrate. To compensate this problem, the marine fishes, they are continuously drinking such type of salt water. By the drinking of such type of salt water, the excess salts, they are entering into the body. Okay, here there is no function of kidneys. Here kidneys are reduced. Why? Because there is no function of kidneys. What is the function of kidneys? To eliminate excess amount of water. So such type of kidneys are well developed in fishes. But here kidneys are not eliminating water. Automatically the water is going to eliminated by this process. So because of this region, here the kidneys are termed as aglomerular kidneys. Aglomerular kidneys, because here glomerular structure is completely reduced. Kidneys are present, but in that kidneys, glomerular structure is completely reduced. So why they are reduced? Because there is no function of kidneys. There is no elimination of water by the kidneys. Automatically through body wall, here excess water is going to lose. So because of that reason, fishes are drinking more water. Because of that water, salt's concentration is increasing inside of the body. Here these fishes, on these fishes gills also, chloride glands are present. This chloride gland's main function is to eliminate excess salts. So whatever the salts are entering into the body, that excess salts are going to eliminated by chloride glands which are present on gills. So freshwater fishes function, marine water fishes function quite opposite. Here endosmosis, here exosmosis. Here chloride cells, they are absorbing salts. Here chloride cells, they are eliminating salts. Here glomerular kidneys, here aglomerular kidneys. Like these problems, they are facing by different types of organisms which are present inside of the water. Like this, based on this concept, different types of questions they are asking. Here, amoeba or paramecium. This is paramecium and this is amoeba. Amoeba is shapeless, irregular. Paramecium like this. So when we observe the structure of paramecium, the paramecium consists of two contractile vacuoles. Contractile vacuoles. Here this is anterior contractile vacuole, this is posterior contractile vacuole. Two contractile vacuoles are present in a paramecium. Next, this is amoeba. Amoeba consists of one contractile vacuole. Both amoeba and paramecium both are of freshwater organisms. Freshwater organisms. So compared to their surrounding water, here surrounding water salinity is less compared to their body fluids. Means their body fluids, water salinity concentration is more compared to surrounding water body. Then automatically what happens? Water enters into their body by the process called endosmosis. To compensate this problem, here the organisms are possessing contractile vacuoles. These contractile vacuoles are of equivalent to kidneys of vertebrates. That excess water eliminated by contractile vacuoles. So here the contractile vacuoles main function is to eliminate excess amount of water which are enters into the body by endosmosis. So questions are like this: if this freshwater paramecium immediately we are keeping instead of the marine water, immediately we are keeping instead of the marine water, then what about the contractile vacuoles function is? Listen carefully. The question is, paramecium is freshwater. Now this freshwater salinity is less compared to their body fluids. Because of this, water is going enters into the body by endosmosis. If by this endosmosis the excess water is going eliminated by contractile vacuoles. Now such type of paramecium we are keeping instead of the marine water. Then what about the function of contractile vacuoles? I want answer tomorrow. Okay, this is about water. This water is also playing an important role on organisms. Those organisms are surviving inside of the water. They are also facing problems with water because of this. So because of chemical compositions, pH and salinity.